Republicans who will be voting to expel George Santos. Congressman Ken Buck of Colorado. Congressman, welcome. Thanks for joining us on this. Appreciate it. What do you make of what we heard from your colleague earlier today, that this is going to come back to haunt lawmakers if, in fact, he's expelled and that he's being bullied?
Well, I will sleep well tomorrow night, and I will sleep well Saturday night. I didn't vote for the previous expulsion motion on George Santos because I didn't believe that he had due process. I don't think due process is only achieved by a conviction in criminal court. The Ethics Committee, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, gave him an opportunity to appear before them and present exculpatory material and material as to why he should not be expelled or findings should not be made against him, and he refused. He intentionally avoided giving information and giving credible testimony. And so, as a result, there is a finding, and he has had his due process, and in my opinion, he should not be a member of the House.
I want to play for you, if I can, Congressman, Speaker Mike Johnson, talking about this upcoming vote, and then get your reaction on the other side.
I personally have real reservations about doing this. I'm concerned about a precedent that may be set for that.
Are there others, or do you have other colleagues that have reservations about expelling him?
I'm sure there are many other of my colleagues that have reservations about expelling him. I don't think that the expulsion bar should be only at criminal conviction. And so we may have disagreements about that. I have a lot of respect for this speaker. I also know that we have a very small majority and that George Santos's seat may very well not be won by a Republican. So we may be losing one of the 5-vote majority that we have in this House.
But is this about maintaining power or doing what's right, Congressman?
Well, I'm going to be voting to expel him. I'll let your viewers decide what others' motives are.
I want to shift gears, if I can, while I have you, sir. You have been very outspoken against members of your party who continue to deny the results of the 2020 election. It's a major topic in a new book, as you well know, by former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who writes about how future Speaker Johnson wanted Republican members to support this amicus brief to throw out the results of 4 states that the former president lost. She writes this: "When I confronted him with the flaws in his legal arguments, Johnson would often concede or say something to the effect of, 'We just need to do this one last thing for Trump.'" What is your reaction to that, sir?
Well, I joined that brief, and I think that challenging an election in the courts is appropriate. The Supreme Court made a decision. I respected that decision, and I voted to certify the electors on January 6th. I think that it's really important that outside of the legal system, there were actions taken that were inappropriate. And I think that decertifying the electors, I think that obviously the actions on January 6th of invading the Capitol and having a riot were bad, terrible, horrible, but the ability to go to court and to challenge an election is part of our system, and it has been for a couple hundred years. So I don't have a problem with Mike Johnson's brief. I understand Liz's position on that, but I am supportive of Mike. Now, Mike has said that after that Supreme Court decision, he will admit that Donald Trump lost the election. He has made that very clear at the time that he filed that brief.
Congressman, one last one to you, and I know you know this well, as you are a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and that is the aid that Israel and Ukraine need. Right about now, what is the likelihood that it's going to get through?
I'm very optimistic that it will get through. I think that's very important for Americans to realize. We have $34 trillion of debt. We need to find ways to pay for these kinds of expenditures, expenditures on natural disasters, expenditures for our allies who are fighting against terror in Israel and an aggressive invasion by Russia. So I think once we find these pay-fors and we're able to move forward, we will make sure that that aid gets to those countries. They deserve it, and we should stand with our allies.
Congressman Ken Buck, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.